Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. A big thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support. This platform is growing. And those on X, you can follow me so that we built a broader platform for us to engage and communicate. Allow me to say this. The cabinet was dissolved. William Ruto decided and he dissolved this cabinet. Before the cabinet was dissolved, and even before it was constituted, I recall very well John Mbadi of ODM telling members of parliament in broad daylight that yes, members of parliament, we know you have the majority. That is Kenya Kwanza members of parliament. As Mbadi, I know you have the majority, but I want to leave you with something. To me, as Mbadi, the list of nominees brought by Ruto are incompetent. We tell you the truth. If you want us to give him this list, we can give him. Hatuna shida. Because whatever we are giving him, these are problems. But if he is satisfied with the problems, as the assembly, as parliament, we have no problem. We can give him those problems. He go and deals with these problems. And actually they did. Can we watch John Mbadi?
The threshold, Mr. Speaker, the threshold under Chapter 6 is higher than cases being in court and such like, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the threshold for approval in this House, we are not a court of law. In this House, we are approving you based on your capacity to hold office. Look at the lady Penina. She's being disapproved simply because she could not talk properly in the committee. And you are telling me that a name that has been brought here by none other than the president as having been mentioned in matters corruption, that person is as clean as cotton. Mr. Speaker, let us be serious. Even if, and I've never been in government except in 2008 to 2013 when I was in Nusumukati government. I have never been in government since that time, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, we have a choice to make either decision to reject over 60% of these names or give President Ruto his skunk. Let us not interfere with it. We give it to him. He has asked for it. Let us give him his cabinet. We know he's going to run the government from State House. These are not people who can run a government. Apart from a few individuals who are not even more than 8, the rest are incompetent, unqualified, have integrity issues, are people who cannot deliver this country from where it is to the next level that we want the country to move in. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I will oppose most of the names.
That is John Mbadi's prophecy that, of course, has come to pass. Now, I have seen campaigns. I have seen campaigns online. And people are endorsing those who they think can fit the cabinet of national unity. Because that is the new government that is going to be formed. The Raila Ruto government, which I told you, and it has come to pass. Now, I have seen people doing endorsements. Nimeona people are suggesting Fred Matiang'i from Kisii. Nimeona people suggesting Ali Hassan Joho from Mombasa. I have seen people suggest Wycliffe Oparanya from Western. I have seen people say reinstate Kindiki. I have seen people say reinstate Duale. Kenyans, this time round, if a cabinet is going to be formed, this time round, Nikubaya, this time round is not what you think. even those ones who will be nominated, they will come shivering because people had become too comfortable in some positions, thinking they will be permanent. Some CSS even had the audacity to tell Kenyans, hakuna kitu mutanifanyia. There's nothing you'll do to me. I'm a CS. There's nothing you're telling me. Yani, those positions, power had got into people's heads. Power had sunk. And when power sinks into your head, you forget yourself. So, the people who are going to be nominated, even the scrutiny that is going to be done in parliament. Aye. Now, I know there are people who are going to be nominated to these positions. I want to speak this. I'm not a prophet, but allow me to say this. Nikubalie niseme hivi. Ni sawa, there will be appointments. But kama ingekuwa ni mimi, if it were me now doing the appointments, number one, any Kenyan who has been mentioned anywhere in a court case, whether corruption, whether murder, whether rape, whether defilement, whether harassment, any Kenyan who has been mentioned before in court is a first disqualification. Huyo ni mimi. Whether proven guilty or not guilty, because in Kenya, you can buy freedom. In Kenya, you can buy your way out of the courts. So if I was the person doing mimi nimesema kaka nipewe siku moja ni muadvise Ruto. Siku moja tu ni muadvise. Na kama ningekuwa na uwezo wa kudetermine who becomes the cabinet secretary, my first disqualification, any politician, any Kenyan who has been previously in court is an ex. Nyumbani. Because hiyo ndio inatusumbua. Angalia Ruto's cabinet. Aisha Juma, Mede Kalinturi, the likes of Kipchumba Murkomen, the likes of Moses Kuria. Hawa ni watu wenye wako na kesi kotini. All of them. Their cases were thrown out when they became CSS. And by the way, we need to revive those cases. We need to push. We need to push those cases to be heard afresh. Petitions ziwekwe. Kinokio Mutata. Petitions za hawa wajinga ziwekwe. We need to revive those cases again. Ndio tujue whether they bought their way out of the courts or the cases were withdrawn fairly. We are not going to relent. Kenya tuko na kazi ya kufanya na hatupumuziki. And as I said earlier, all tourists should just go and rest. We have closed Kenya for innovations until further notice. Tunapiga plaster. Tumejenga, tunaendelea kupiga plaster. Kitambo tufanye skimming, kitambo tupige rangi, kitambo tunue furniture. My friend, tuko na kibarua Kenya hii. So mtu asiingililie kazi yetu ya kutengeneza taifa la Kenya. Mtu asiingililie. So, appointments are going to be made. Mimi, kama mtu amequalify kuingia katika cabinet, iwe ni mtu hajawahi pelekwa kotini na kesi ya corruption, hajawahi pelekwa kotini na kesi ya wizi, hajawahi pelekwa kotini na kesi ya harassment, hajawahi pelekwa kotini na kesi ya murder, hajawahi pelekwa kotini na kesi ya kulala na bibi za watu. If I was to appoint the cabinet, And the members of parliament, nataka tuwaonye, if you survive dissolution, if by any means you survive dissolution, because we are planning to dissolve that parliament, munaenda nyumbani, you are not the exception, you are going home. Oh, ha. Members of parliament, you are going home. We are dissolving that parliament. Tunarudi fresh elections. Hata kama tuko na pesa ama hatuna, Wakenya tutachanga pesa ya campaign na pesa ya elections. We must dissolve parliament. But if you survive by any means, and the powers to vet the new CSS is vested upon you, tafadhali, we will be camping at the door until you give us the right list. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.